It was so nice to see the amount of people that work in the medical field, the mental health department. It was so nice to see some of them in the comment section putting in their opinion, and it was nice to see that some of them actually agreed with me. I was like, wow. Like, here's the thing. I when I do coaching calls, I talk to a lot of different people. I speak to nurses, I've spoken to doctors, I've spoken to lawyers, I've spoken to a lot of people. I've spoken to celebrities. That's why I don't judge people, because everyone is going through something. This is why you don't see me pointing my fingers at people and judging people, because I'm telling you right now, when you don't know someone's story, you can be literally pointing fingers and judging someone who's going through exactly what you're going through. But because they don't talk about it, or because they don't look like they're going through it, you wouldn't think they're going through it. And that's the problem with a lot of people, is they think that because someone doesn't go through what they go through, or because someone doesn't talk about what they go through, that their life is perfect and that they're not going through anything. But it was so nice to see that, because like I said, I talked to people in these fields who have gifts too, who know what's going on, but a lot of them, they won't say anything publicly. So it was nice to see some people in these departments, actually speak up. God bless you guys for that. It's really nice to see that. It's encouraging. It's encouraging, especially for people going through this type of stuff. You know what I mean? Anyone can go through it. That's why you don't mock people, because one day you can be like, okay, my life is normal. I feel normal. I feel okay. And then the next week, you're hit with warfare and you don't even know what's happening to you. You're hit with warfare and your gifts end up being turned up a notch, and you're hearing in the spirit, you're seeing in the spirit, and you don't know what's going on. So it's not good to mock people. But it would be nice to see a lot more pastors, a lot more prophets, a lot more ministers. It would be nice to see a lot more people talk about their testimonies and what they go through. I'm not ashamed to talk about what I go through. I didn't even share half of what I went through. That's what I share with you guys, is probably like 10%. 10% is what I've been through. I've been through everything. I've been through everything you can think of except the R word. But it would be nice to see more people speak up. And this is what God told me. He said with my platform, he said he wants me to be raw, authentic. And people have to understand that whether you're a prophet, whether you're a pastor, whether you're evangelical, whether you are an apostle, or just whether you're anointed but you didn't receive your title as yet, we're still human beings. We still bleed. We still have feelings. We still go through the human experiences. This is why every time you see someone speaking that has a title or that claims to hear from God, you always take it with a grain of salt, and you always take it to God, because we are humans too. I'm not perfect, and I'm not gonna act like I'm perfect. I'm not a saint. I'm not gonna come on YouTube pretend I'm holier than thou and I'm a saint. And I have my days where I'm down too. I have my days where warfare gets intense and I just feel like quitting, but I don't. I have my days like everybody else, right? And it would be nice to see more people share their testimonies and not hide away. But another thing is, some people won't share because they're not comfortable as yet. Some people are afraid of the judgment. They're afraid of people using their story against them. That's happened to me, but that won't stop me, because I know I'm covered and I know God is protecting me. And some people are like, oh, you don't share too much because the witches who attack you, the warlocks who attack you, they're watching you. And if you share stuff, it might make them mad. So I'm not supposed to share my experience because it's going to make a witch mad. They were attacking me before I shared my experiences anyways. What's the difference now? The only difference maybe is there may be more attacking me because I'm helping y'all. So if like, what people don't understand, when you're really about that life and when you're really on the walk and you're really going through this and you are really obedient to God and you are putting out certain messages and you are literally warning people of certain things that are happening in the spirit and the plots and schemes of the enemy. Yes, when you have people who are targeted watching you, the people who are targeting them will come after you too, because you're helping them. They don't want you helping them. So yes, I do go through a lot more attacks because I do help a lot of people. But that's what I'm trying to say. Regardless if I share my testimony or not, I will still go through it, because even if I'm sharing a message that has nothing to do with me, the person attacking the person the message is for is not going to be too fond of that. But that's my assignment. This is what God called me to do. He called me to do something else too, but this is one of the assignments he called me to do, and I have to be obedient. And then some people, they go through things, but they're not really going through as intense things as many of the chosen go through. So, it's like, for instance, you may see someone that claims to be in deliverance. They don't even know what a demon looks like, or they've never seen a demon. So what are they really delivering? If they can't really see a demon or they can't really see in a spirit, how do you know what you're delivering if you can't even see in a spirit? But because people like titles, people like to claim titles, there's a lot of people who won't ever speak on their testimonies because they don't have testimonies that are connected to the assignment they have. They gave themselves that title, or they self-appointed themselves. But then there's some people who are afraid to speak because they're afraid to get more attacked. But let me tell you something. Your testimony is healing to someone. Your testimony is healing someone. When I went through all these specific events in my life, I couldn't find anybody online that was talking about what I was going through. Nobody. I couldn't find one person. And all I would hear people say is spiritual attack or spiritual warfare. But what are the details about that? What happens when you go through that? I wasn't able to find anyone that can relate to the deeper things I was going through. So I felt so alone. And that's what prompted me to start my YouTube channel in the first place. Was I was going through a lot, and heartbreak as well. I was going through so much heartbreak. I was going through a lot of attacks. I was being tormented by witches. And that's what prompted me to start my channel. God was like, start your channel. You got to speak on these things. So it would be nice to see people speak on their testimonies and not be afraid. Or, of course, if God prompts you to, because God's timing is everything. But it would really help people. It's really healing. And it does make me feel amazing and happy. And like everything is worth it when I see people tell me, like, Steph, like, I was going through what you're going through, and I didn't even know that you were going through that, or I didn't even know someone else was experiencing all that. Like, you guys don't understand the amount of gratitude I feel when I see that, because I know how it feels to not have anyone that can relate to you, and I know how it feels when, you feel like you're alone and you're going through something and no one can understand. It's not a good feeling. So when I see comments like that, even though I complain about the attacks, and I know some videos I put out, oh man, they're gonna go ham tonight with the attacks because I put this video out. I know I'm covered, but it's just like I lose sleep and I have to keep getting up and praying and rebuking and denouncing. But when I see comments like that, I'm like, man, it's worth it. It's worth it. If I can help y'all, I'm gonna help y'all the best way I can, I remember I told you guys in the past, like, there's something that I'm doing that's going to help you guys a lot. I'm excited to help you guys. I'll say that. I'm excited that many of you guys are going to receive deliverance through knowledge. I'm excited that many of you guys are going to receive deliverance through a testimony. I'm excited that many of you guys are going to receive clarity and closure on things that you were questioning, on experiences that made you feel like you were crazy. And as long as God keeps me going and tells me to keep going and tells me to continue, I'm going to keep going, and I'm going to keep helping as many people as possible, whether these demons or these witches and warlocks like it or not. And I just wish a lot of other people would open up. There's a lot of fake people out there. And there's a lot of people who are on the walk, but they're not on this type of walk. And there's a lot of people who are just in it for the money. And when I tell you, YouTube does not pay enough for a person that's actually on this walk to come on here, warn people about things, put certain things out, and then get attacked at night. There's no amount of money that can pay for that type of torment. Nothing. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I'm just letting y'all know, just keep going and just keep having faith, and just know that you're not alone. You're not alone. There's a lot more that I know, but God is, telling me to put things out slowly but surely and not to overdo it too much. And he gives me like time frames as when to put certain things out, because once I put certain things out, I gotta prepare for a war, But anyways, I love y'all. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.